We're right in the middle of the US Open, and with semifinals here, we have to address a player who's caught our eye. With silky serves, a cool demeanor, and a penchant for good looks, Frances Tiafoe has definitely shown us how well tennis is played. And what's this we hear about LeBron James praising him? Before we give any more away, let's get straight to the story. To begin with, how did Tiafoe manage such a feat? There are so many types of pressure that tennis players can apply to their opponents during a match. Massive serve after massive serve, hitting deep, hounding the baseline to force the opponent back into the court, rushing the net, and standing tall and fearless only 35 feet away. There's also the pressure of the scoreboard, which comes with early game leads, or of the softest drop shots, which can land like uppercuts to the gut. It also helps to be able to get a crowd of more than 20,000 people to raise the decibel count to uncomfortable levels at critical moments. Frances Tiafoe, who used all those skills and more in a win over Rafael Nadal, has another weapon. They may sound a bit scandalous, but facts are facts, and we must not hide them. When he changes his shirt on hot, sweaty afternoons, he sits bare-chested in his chair for a while, the muscles rippling across his back, displaying a physique more suited to a mixed martial arts octagon than a tennis court. To beat him, opponents must go through that, which can linger in the mind during those nerve tests known as tiebreakers. Now, here's what we know about the great man's victory against Nadal. To be clear, Tiafoe knows how great he was on the field. He mentioned that something special happened, further adding that Nadal is one of the greatest players of all time. "I've had problems before. I didn't have the maturity in these big matches," he said, further adding that he felt that he was in a better place now. While the rest of the world was busy wondering how Francis would handle serving for the match, the American had other plans. He took advantage of Nadal's errors to go up 0-40, and while he missed his first match point, Rafa netted the next. Now, let's learn more about that. Rafael Nadal was knocked out of the US Open in 4 sets by Frances Tiafoe of the United States. Nadal's quest for a record-extending 23rd men's singles title was ended by his only Grand Slam defeat this year. He won the Australian and French Opens before withdrawing from the Wimbledon semifinals due to injury. The man was clearly hampered by abdominal discomfort, but nothing should detract from Francis's incredible shot-making as he won in just over 3.5 hours. Despite Nadal's discomfort, this was a hard-fought match that could have gone either way at times. The Spaniard appeared to be struggling for fluency, lacking speed and confidence, and he was broken at 3-3 in the first set by Tiafoe. It was a close match, but he won by taking advantage of the first set's only breakpoint. What's more, some unprecedented events took place as well. Nadal took a medical timeout before returning to the court with renewed vigor. He wasn't at his best. He had 9 double faults and 9 aces, but he took advantage of the poor service game at 5-4 to press home and eventually won the set after the American double faulted. Conditions forced officials to close the roof at the start of the 4th set. During those 5 minutes, play continued, and it appeared to have affected Francis, who was broken to give Nadal a 3-1 lead. He was enraged and received a warning for yelling at the umpire, but he quickly regained control. We did have a curious flashback here. If you know, you know. Back to the match. Tiafoe won 5 consecutive games, breaking serve 3 times to stun his opponent and seal the match. With this win, Francis sure is on his way to writing his own fairy tale. Now, it's finally time to talk about what LeBron James said. Unsurprisingly, the victory sent shockwaves throughout the tennis world and on social media, with many congratulating Francis. But when he saw one tweet in particular, he went insane in the locker room, as he should have, because it was none other than LeBron James. The NBA's legendary superstar wrote, "Congrats, young king, you earned it." Cue Tiafoe's reaction. "Man, I was losing it in the locker room," he said. One of the biggest concerns the tennis player had was whether he should retweet it immediately, but he decided to be cool and act like he didn't see it. Now, we know you've done this at least once in your life, so there's no need to judge. Obviously, like he knows I'm a big fan. That's super cool. The fact they're watching right now," Francis finished. What wouldn't we do to get praise from LeBron James? But this is not where Tiafoe's story ends. He defeated Nadal, got a tweet from James dedicated to him, and secured another victory soon after. You heard us right. Following up, let's learn more about Francis's second win. Following his victory over Rafael Nadal, he defeated Andrei Rublev to become the first American man to reach the US Open semifinals in 16 years. Tiafoe, the 22nd seed in New York, had arrived in the 4th round of the US Open to widespread acclaim for his 3-year streak of reaching the second week, but he wasn't sure how to react to the praise. He wanted more than just another 4th round finish. Despite the difficult task at hand, which was Rafael Nadal, the 22-time Grand Slam champion, he won the best match of his career on Monday. He then made it clear that he was not finished. "We love it when a player is confident." Francis won in a match that was evenly contested for the most part, except when he surged during the tiebreakers, as he's done done for the past 10 days. He's won all 6 tiebreakers he's faced in this tournament, including a 7-0 thrashing of Rublev in the second set on Wednesday. Both players arrived at Arthur Ashe Stadium playing razor-sharp tennis, serving well, and navigating the service games with ease. Coming up, let's address the moments after. Rublev covered his face with a towel and cried as the best opportunity of his career slipped away, while Tiafoe celebrated by staring across the crowd and nodding his head. With his 18th ace, he quickly served out the match to love. We must admit, even though we feel bad for Rublev, Francis deserved this victory. 5 of the 6 male players remaining on Wednesday morning in one of the most open men's Grand Slam tournaments in recent memory have been ranked inside the top 10 at some point in their careers. They had all been waiting for this opportunity. Tiafoe was the outlier, having reached his career high of 24 last month, but his status only makes him more dangerous, giving him a level of freedom that others, such as Rublev, may not have. Now, let's address Francis's climb to the top. Tiafoe has always had the ability to achieve great things, beginning with his formative years playing tennis in Maryland, College Park, alongside his twin brother. Sadly, his forehand would occasionally fail him. He was not well organized behind the scenes, and he struggled to win close matches. But this time, he was surely aware of the stakes attached to his run through the year's final Grand Slam as it relates to American men's tennis. No U.S. man since Andy Roddick in 2003 had won at Flushing Meadows or any other major tournament. Since Roddick in 2006, no American had even reached the semifinals. Before Francis defeated Rafael Nadal on Monday to reach the quarterfinals, the most recent American quarterfinals were John Isner in 2018. And that's not all. There's more to the story. Andrei Rublev and Francis Tiafoe first faced off as rivals in the Flushing Meadows courts in 2014. They were both 15 years old at the time. Francis was born 3 months later in January 1998, and as 2 of the most hyped teenagers of their generation, they were well acquainted. They fought to the death in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Juniors, with Tiafoe defeating the top seed in a tight 3-setter. They saluted each other in a warm embrace, but then things took a slight turn. While Rublev quickly rose to the top of the game as they transitioned to their professional tour, Francis's path has been far more ambiguous. Let's finish up with one last glance at Tiafoe's victories. Inconsistency, lapses in concentration, and far too many tight, brutal losses following great performances have slowed his progress at times, but in his own time, Francis rose to the top of the sport on the largest court of those same grounds. He seized this enormous opportunity with a flawless display of attacking tennis, serving tremendously and moving forward at all times. To emphasize just how special this moment is, Tiafoe is the first American man to reach the U.S. Open semifinals since Andy Roddick in 2006. Man, this is wild. This is crazy, Tiafoe said in an interview. He mentioned how he had 2 major wins and how turning the page is tough. But he did it, and guess what? Now he's in the semis. Way to go, Francis. We're proud of you. That's a wrap. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Francis's back-to-back wins. Hit the like and click the subscribe button, and we'll be back with another video. Bye!